Yo, 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 what is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 518. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
What's up, people? How's it going?
Carlos Romero.
Yo, yo, yo.
Adam Vale.
How you doing?
And Richard Bailey Jr.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
All right, guys, you already know. Back at another one. Shout out to Logic Wins, who started, dropping some comments in the chat before we went live. My man said, "Let's fucking go." Playing Ninja Gaiden 2 Black while listening. I hope you all had a great week. Still hyped off the developer direct. Oh yeah, it's been a fantastic week, bro. Like, we had day off on Monday. Something historic may have happened. We had some games. Some good stuff, man. And even some stuff I can't tell you about yet, bro. But which you will know about soon, But yeah, welcome to Throwdown. Brett will join us momentarily. He was actually with us before the show, but he was driving, so he's going to get back to his crib, log on.
He's getting his food on, son.
What's the name of that place that he went to? Some fucking place in Kansas?
I don't know.
Bingo Chicken.
Wiggly.
It was some burger joint,
I don't know.
I don't know what's going on with Chris. Hopefully he'll be here. And Brian, I don't know what's going on with Brian. I don't know, my man.
It's like he's still sleeping. Brian, people don't understand. It's like 4 a.m. He's in jolly old England.
That's it.
That's a huge time. Every
It
time
is,
he's
it is
on,
4 a.m. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's crazy. So
Little do you know, he's on Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Yes, there you go, man. Before we start, I kind of slightly want to apologize to the fans. I should have warned you about this. On Tuesday, which was the only day of the week that I left the crib. I worked from home this week because it was too fucking cold in New York. But that day I braved the cold because, as I usually do, I attended and presented at the New York Video Game Critics Circle Awards. Last year, it was me and Sarah Clemens. We did Best Remake. And we also did that again this year. So we did a remake of a remake. Fun times. Shout out to Lord Cognito, who was there. Danny Pena. Yo, it's crazy. I haven't seen Dan. Here's a funny thing. Danny, for Gamertag Radio, if you guys don't know, I talk to him literally every day, like on WhatsApp, but I haven't seen him since his wedding 2 years ago in Vegas, bro.
yeah. Does he still live in LA? Remember he did that week?
And just so you know, he's fine, but he said shit got scary because those fires were closing in, man, where he lived, and they said, and you guys may have heard about this too, like everybody got that false warning about like evacuate now and shit. He got that, so it was kind of scary. But Danny was in New York. He came visiting because he was attending the award show, but no, he lives in Los Angeles. Thankfully, he was fine. He was like, he said he was only like maybe 15 minutes away from the nearest evacuation station. So he was good. So, shout out to him, Rihanna, their daughter, they're all good. But yeah, it was a good time. So yeah, I should have told you, but yeah, you can go over to like, YouTube and Twitch, to the New York Video Game Critics Circle channel, and you can see the whole show there. It was good stuff. Very New York centric, just so you know. By the way, J-Sub, in case you didn't know, so Danny was originally from New York, back in the day. And then he actually moved back like for almost a year in 2019/2020. Yes. Look at 2020, bro. But shout out to Danny because I hung out with him maybe every other week. We went to Bryant Park, and we both will tell you this. That shit kept us sane, because, obviously, quarantine, you can't touch nobody. This disease is going to kill everybody. All that nonsense we had to go through. So it was good to have Danny there. I'm vamping right now, so it doesn't matter. I'll tell you guys this. I don't even know if I told you this shit, Manny. So, after the pandemic, with the fucking lockdowns and bullshit, only person I saw was my mom. That was it. Like, when you came over, like in mid-April or whatever, went to Valentino's, I literally felt relief rush over me, because I'm not an introverted person. I'm extrovert. I need to be around people. So having my friend there, my best friend there, I was like, I didn't realize I needed other human contact,
Yeah, man. That definitely can get to you, especially with the way how New York was very sort of locked down. I would say, like, at least in my area in Pennsylvania, it was pretty much like business as usual. The only difference is that you had to wear a mask, and like even then they weren't like fully, you know, they were everybody was it was okay. Everybody wasn't getting full thing. In fact, the only reason why I even got COVID was not even because
you went to New York,
Pennsylvania, because I went to New York.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy, But yeah, shout out. So yeah, shout out to everybody at the New York Critic Circle Awards. Got to see some friends. I missed out on seeing our boy Ryan. Man, he had to leave a little early, so I missed seeing him. But he sent him a nice text and everything. Cherie was there. We both know her. Friend of ours.
Did you say what's up to Sam Lake?
Yeah, we actually took a picture. He actually kind of kneeled next to me during the picture, which is pretty cool. Oh yeah. He gave yes. That's the other reason. Please go look at that Sam Lake speech. It was a beautiful speech he gave. Very, very meaningful. You could tell it really meant a lot to him to win the award. And I got to give Cherie respect, man, because me and Sarah, we presented Best Remake, and Silent Hill won. Fucking Konami once again wasn't there to take the award, so Cherie threw some shade at them. It's like, come on, bro. Waiting on Tony. I don't fuck New Jersey. Hold up. Oh, no. We don't do New Jersey around these parts, bro. Fuck that. He goes waiting on Tony to present awards in New Jersey. No. We ain't about that life, man. Fuck New Jersey. Anyway, but go ahead.
It's a weird one for Konami because there is a branch of Konami that's literally not that far from the location.
You would think they could just show up. Send somebody.
Do they know? Do they know their?
Of course they do. Motherfucking Team Asobi knew. They kept winning awards like crazy.
I think when it comes to that, I think that specific branch of Konami, it's almost like two different things.
Yeah,
it's like it's a different separate company. But I feel like if in general, if there's another award that needs it, it's not a good look to not have somebody there who represents the.
They were the only company that wasn't there. Every company, even if they were from Japan, had somebody, even if it was by video. It's like, come on. So no excuse there, but it is what it is. It was a good show. Like I said, it was a fucking great week, man. Good week, despite the fucking cold. But let's get into it, man. Speaking about great, Throwdown is going to be great tonight because we got a lot of shit to talk about. The Xbox Developer Direct. Usually, if you guys been watching Throwdown, these things are usually pretty bad. Not this one. This one was pretty fucking awesome. So we're going to run that. And it only had 4 games, so very easy for us to get into it. And here's the funny thing. Before the show went live, Xbox said we're going to have the return of a legendary Japanese IP. Everybody started going crazy. Oh, it's Persona. It's this or that. There were a couple of smart people, though. Intuitive people were like, what if it's Ninja Gaiden? I mean, they already have that Xbox connection. Sure enough, the show kicked off with Ninja Gaiden 4 people. And it looks fucking good. But Manny, there's a twist to this one. Yes, obviously, Team Ninja's bringing it to you, but they're not the only ones.
Yes, it's actually a Platinum Games. They consider it what do they call it? A coordination, or what do they call it?
A co-develop. Yeah.
No, co-develop, whatever they call it. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's actually Team Ninja it's actually Platinum Games that is developing the game, and it is obviously they have Team Ninja's people, which are the people that are like the director and all that other stuff. So it's sort of the same situation they had with Nier Automata, just with Ninja Gaiden. It's funny. Before I even knew what it was, I sort of like, man, this kind of looks like Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance on a Platinum game. And lo and behold, you see the folks at Platinum Games, and they're interviewing them and talking to them. So yeah, it's cool stuff.
Yeah, no, it definitely. Again, Platinum Games have a certain look to them. I felt the same. I'm like, this kind of looks a little platinum-ish. We saw Ninja Gaiden, but even though obviously it has that Platinum Games DNA, it still kind of has that feel of the original Ninja Gaidens. The Itagaki Ninja Gaidens, as I like to call them, the Team Ninja ones. So I'm really, because we were talking about this on the show not too long ago. It's like we don't really get games like this anymore. Like the closest one with Stellar Blade, even that is not fully one of these type of games. To be specific, hack and slash action games. Because obviously Stellar Blade has that aspect, the hack and slash, but it's really more of an adventure game. You explore. These games aren't about exploring. They're just about killing shit, doing crazy combos. Devil May Cry, Bayonetta. We don't really get those kind of games anymore. Yes, Manny, I realize that Bayonetta obviously is platinum, as is Revengeance, and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm stoked. I'm stoked for it. What you guys think of Ninja Gaiden? Rich, what you think of it, man?
Well, I thought it was a fantastic surprise. There were rumors that might be the game earlier this week. I forget where, because again, online you see people tweeting all types of stuff. You can't just believe everything that you see online. But yeah, once I saw the presentation, I thought that was a fantastic announcement, because it was an unannounced game, but there was more to the announcement than just that game. But what I saw for Ninja Gaiden 4, fantastic. It's coming in fall 2025, and
yes.
Glad to see that Xbox just outright said this is coming to PlayStation 5 also. All that information was in there when they said the release date. So
yep,
it was great.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to Chris, who's joining us right now. What's going on, dude?
Hey, sorry I'm late.
Olivia's
not feeling well.
Oh no, hopefully she feels better. But yeah, Chris, what'd you think of Ninja Gaiden 4, man? Kick us off, kick off this Xbox Direct.
Well, I was kind of surprised. I didn't know I'd forgotten about Ninja Gaiden. When was 3? Back on 360, yeah.
And that game wasn't well received either, if you recall.
No, but 1 and 2 were really good. So this is a nice surprise. I was I was kind of up and down, because so I saw this, I was like, fantastic, I'm hyped. But I saw Expedition 33 and I thought, did I take drugs today? I don't know. This game looks fucking weird, but I'm all for a new IP and just thinking outside the box.
Yeah,
so
we'll get to that one in a bit, Chris.
But this looks, it looks awesome. I'm a big fan. I love Platinum games. A big fan of Vanquish, and I played the other 3. I played Sigma. I played 2 and 3. So I'm very hyped. I love this shit, and I love Vanquish and Bayonetta. So I'm excited for this one. Absolutely,
it's going to be great. Anybody else want to chime in? Adam, did you ever play these Ninja Gaiden games, the Team Ninja ones?
Yeah, I played them, and it didn't do it for me. I felt like I put them in the same category, and we said it, Devil May Cry.
Yeah, you don't like those games either?
I like Devil May Cry, mainly because they got guns.
Yeah, okay.
Ninja
Gaiden has ninja stars.
Yeah, he's got some ninja stars, and then he's got the guns and all that, and it just didn't do it for me. And I don't know why everybody was surprised by this. I thought this was a no-brainer from what we saw not too long ago when they announced they were going to do that side-scrolling Ninja Gaiden. Yeah. I'm like, oh, this makes sense. They're going to keep making more of these. So once I started seeing all the little quirks and the things, I was like, oh, there's another one. And then you guys, going nuts. I'm like,
I wasn't expecting, because and I'm glad you bring it up, because I thought because that side-scrolling Ninja Gaiden was coming out, that they wouldn't be making a 3D one. That's what I thought. I was like, okay, I guess we're not getting another 3D one for a while. I'm glad I was wrong, because I love me some Ninja Gaiden. Games kick my fucking ass, but they're so good.
I can see it, but it's just something, I guess. I play so many of these jumping ninja games, and then you got Ghost of Tsushima, and it's not the same as Samurai.
That is way different.
It's just something about it. It's not my thing. I don't like ninjas. I have my own issue with Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow and stuff. Many of those, and that carries over into this.
Fair enough.
American Ninja. I think the only ninjas I like is American Ninja.
Yes.
I like those movies.
WPIX staple right there, man.
That's it. That's the only ninja movies I like. We'll do a walks along sometime, and that's it. But besides that, I was nope.
Yeah, fair enough. So what's interesting about this game, obviously, you still get to play as Hayabusa, but there's also a new character right here, as they say, it's Yakumo. So they both kind of have their own styles. And Yakumo apparently has 2 different styles himself. So maybe you get 3 in 1, but I don't know if they're going to have like, some of those big titty bitches show up in this game too. That was a big thing about the other games,
It'll be a hidden code.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Logic Wins, you already know about American Ninja. And yo, Jeffrey, if you're watching the show, man, I know Jeffrey loves him some American Ninja. So shout out to that franchise, man. Ninja Gaiden 4. But that's not all. That's not all. This was a surprise. Motherfucking Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is back, people. And this isn't just a remaster. It's a fucking remake. This shit is 85 gigs. What is it, man? The Unreal Engine this is running on now.
Yep, it's running on
crazy.
5.
What's the difference between that and Sigma? Or is it the same?
Sigma is Ninja Gaiden 1.
No. There is a Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 though, because I know Adam. It's a good question because I remember Black was on Xbox and the other one was on PlayStation.
Yeah, and people are like, it's the same game. I'm like, but why didn't
it? No, it's a different name. There's slight
difference. There's different content. I know people say Black is the better game. Like apparently has more content or something. Somebody in the chat correct me. Jeff, you already know what's up, bro. My man goes, American Ninja is free on Tubi, baby.
There you go.
Tubi is fucking ghetto Netflix, man. If you see some of the shit they throw on there,
As I remember, Sigma actually had a bit more things. Like it had you could play other characters, and it was also a world quite a bit easier than the previous one.
Yeah, I know Sigma also was easier,
That's what it is. Sigma was easier.
But yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna look this up.
I was gonna say this though. I have a theory because they haven't exactly said who's developing this game.
Yeah, we don't know.
I think it might be Platinum. I'm not Platinum Games, but I think it might be Team Ninja themselves, and I think they might be using it as a jumping off point to start to use the Unreal Engine instead of their proprietary engine. Yeah,
get used to it. Makes sense.
But it doesn't say who again, this is just speculation, but I think it might be something like that. A low yield sort of project of a game that you pretty much already made, everything you have, all of the cinematic, you have all of that sort of stuff. It's just about putting that game, essentially just re-arting the game and getting all the gameplay and all that stuff to work on this new engine. So, but again, I could be wrong because the Neo games have run on Team Ninja's proprietary engine for years. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right. I'm trying to find what the difference are between Black and Sigma, but I guess it doesn't matter right now. Regardless, Ninja Gaiden is back. Get hype, and Ninja Gaiden Black 2 is available now. It's available now.
Is it also going to be on PC or is it just?
It's on PC. It's on PC right now. Adam, you already know, man. Deck verified. Actually, we got to find out if it's deck verified or not.
I'll see.
Okay, so thank you, Magnum TV. My man's breaking it down. They removed the gore and made the game easy in Sigma. Black is the best version. Yes. That is true. I do because I played Sigma PS3. I remember what's up with the gore, bro? That's why people consider Black the best version. Man. So and I believe it's $50. So thanks for that info, bro. Good stuff, man. This is why I like the chat, man. You motherfuckers know.
It was also that Master Collection that came out.
Yeah, go ahead, Rich. With the Batman batarang on your face.
Oh, there you go. It is $50, but if you have Game Pass, it's free.
At the low price of free. All right, so status is unknown right now. So if anybody has it, then just boot it up on there and then test it out. But right now, that's too early. I guess they didn't make sure it was verified ahead of time, so Valve doesn't know.
Yeah, Ninja Gaiden 2 is more difficult and adds the gore. That's what's up. If you dudes got Game Pass, play motherfucking Ninja Gaiden 2, bruh. Get in it, All right, so there's that. Moving on here. Xbox's site has them in a different order, so I'm going to do them in the order they were actually shown. Next up, we got South of Midnight, which is launching April 8th. So this is a game we've seen before. And I'll say this because again, I'm not really interested in this. I will say their like weird frame rate looks better now, like in cinemas and stuff. Because remember, I made fun of this fucking game. I was like, that's just some herky. Because they were trying to do some Spider-Verse shit and just looked wrong. So they got to look better this time, They were. My guess is instead of running it at 12 FPS, which is at 2s, which a lot of anime 2 frames per second, which is how a lot of animation tends to work. It looks more like they're running at a 24 or close to 30, but everything else seems to be also running at a 60. Yes,
like you'll notice
the actual gameplay. Yeah, but yeah, it was just for the cutscenes. But yeah, what do you guys think? Again, I don't really have any thoughts. I don't care for this game, but what do you think?
The one with the Canadians, right? Doing the Deep South game.
This is the Deep South game. Yeah.
Yeah, this is it, right? It's an old Canadian team. They're like, oh, yeah, we're showing our version of the Deep South. Like, then you haven't been there because your version is nothing like real version. And I get it. It's supposed to be fantasy and all that stuff, but I don't know. It's just like you, Tony. It's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really that interested, and I like that studio because they made Contrast years ago.
I remember Contrast. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fun game, but we'll see if it does well for people. But yeah, not that interested in this title.
Anybody else thoughts on this?
Did they say if this is going to be on Game Pass? Was that?
Yeah, it's on Game Pass. Yeah,
the general.
Yeah,
yep. Play day one.
Every single game they announced today is coming to Game Pass.
Yeah,
all those games.
All of them. Oh shit. Yeah. So, Rich, any thoughts on South of whatever the South of Midnight? I already forgot the name of the game. I was like, I gotta go back and read it.
You want to say South of Heaven?
Yeah, right. South of Heaven. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Magnum TV says you could turn the stop motion animation off if you want. That's good. Good to know. But yeah, Rich, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I would say I'll definitely check it out just to see what it's all about. I know, as you guys mentioned, this is a Canadian team making this game. They did bring in people from the South to give some type of input. So I would think that.
I hope so. Besides the voice actor.
Yeah. Besides the voice actor, they did bring in, because when they had that documentary, they introduced a lot more people that are working on the game that are from the South. So I mean, I am curious to check it out. I know they did We Happy Few. That's a game I still haven't played, so
you're not missing much. That was the one that had a lot of hype.
That game was kind of a bomb. Yeah, it wasn't that good.
Yeah, that was one of the first ones that when it was a big deal, they showed the trailer, great, and then Microsoft was like, "Yeah, we picked up the studio. It's gonna be awesome." And but that game didn't. No, they didn't do it.
Yeah. All right. So
we'll see.
Yeah. So yeah, we don't really have much to say about this game. Moving on here. Chris already brought this up. Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Something rare, a turn-based RPG, people. So this is from, I don't know the developer here, some French studio. I call this game French fantasy, But Chris, what do you think of this, since you already gave some thoughts on it?
Well, it's trippy for sure. Like, it looks like if you took Final Fantasy and just did a lot of LSD to restyle it, it looks like that. Like the part that was weird was like there's this giant like floating guy that you ride on like a blimp to get around the world, and I don't know. It was trippy as shit.
He's the airship.
He's the airship. Yeah. So it's interesting, but like I said, I give him credit. Like, it's different, We'll see how it turns out, but it was definitely interesting to look at. Like, the style is definitely strange, but I'm like, I was thinking like, it's just for me, I don't know, but at the same time, I applauded like, hey, they tried something different, so yeah, I'll give it that.
And they did it in a brisk 4 years, by the way.
Yes, they did say that.
Yeah, which is the standard.
Well, half the time of Concord. So
yeah.
For me, I thought the world was more interesting than the main characters. I think the turn-based thing is kind of cool. I think their crazy world is interesting, but I feel like the characters are pretty bland. Like it's like, hey, look, it's guy with long hair and mustache. Hey, look, it's this other girl with the hair parted to the side. They're like the most like you expect this kind of crazy world. You sort of expect, I don't know. I feel like the characters should be a little bit more bumped up, especially with the world that they live in. They're all just in these sleek black outfits. So that was my biggest issue with it. It was like the world looks more interesting than the people that you're playing, and then that one guy that can morph into things. That weird like mask guy. I thought he was fun.
Was he the guy that flew them around?
No, he's this guy. He's this other character that if you the more you beat enemies, you collect their parts, and then he can mimic them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, as you could tell, I'm not really excited about that. I don't care, But yeah, like
yeah, and it's nice to see. It's nice to see studios that are not Japanese doing turn-based RPGs.
Yeah,
because,
although they are French, so they kind of have that against them. You're not gonna talk shit. You're not gonna talk shit about the French. Stupid Americans. But yeah, there you go. So that's dropping. Let me look this up. April 24th. Oh, a lot of April games. As a matter of fact, everything except for Ninja Gaiden here is dropping in April. Very good. Some games are coming, people. Get ready. Let's just skip to the good part, bro. The showstopper, Doom: The Dark Ages. Oh man! All right, so little cool thing here. So this happened on the same day, but at two different times. Rich and I actually got to see like a hands-off virtual briefing of this game. So basically, we got to see the same trailer you guys did, the whole developer thing. Plus, we asked the developers questions live after the fact. But yeah, this game is fucking insane. So this is what they told us. So the game is a prequel to Doom 2016. If you guys read all the codexes and shit, they always talked about like this great war or whatever that happened thousands of years ago, and the Doomslayer was involved or whatever. Now you actually get to live that shit. You actually get to see it. So differences are. With Doom 2016, they called it like run and gun. That was kind of like the main gameplay thing. For Doom Eternal, it was like they said run and jump. A lot of acrobatic shit going on. And in this one, it's all about like standing your ground. It's like grounded combat. And to facilitate that, you got a big ass shield and shit. So they said the basic gameplay loop is like you shoot, you do melee with your shield, and then you do some of the crazy shit. They changed the glory kills this time around. So if you guys remember, glory kills were basically like canned animations. Like they looked really cool, but it basically just stopped the entire game to show you this kill. Now you can just do them whenever, and you could do them at different angles. You can move around and shit, which is really cool. You get to ride some motherfucking mechs in this game, people. If you got, I remember Chris, remember those fucking big mechs in the background, man?
Yeah.
I remember, I don't know if you had this feeling, but I remember that first level in Doom Eternal, I was like, yo, can I ride one of those? And by the end of the game, you didn't, obviously.
Yeah, but now you can.
Yeah, now you do. Now you do. So it's fucking awesome. And you also get a fucking dragon you could ride around on. I don't know if you could only do that during, like, can you do that shit whenever? The developers didn't answer that shit. But that'd be crazy.
Didn't he use the word sandbox though?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I heard him say that, and I was like, oh, maybe you can. Maybe you could summon that shit, take off.
Yeah. Quick question from J Shep. And guys, obviously, for this part, feel free to ask us questions since Rich and I got to see that behind the scenes thing. They said there won't be any co-op. Did the previous games have co-op? Nope. No multiplayer either. Remember Doom 2016 had that bullshit tacked on? That was one of the last games. That was one of the last games that had tacked on multiplayer. No co-op. It's a full linear. This is what they called it expansive linear because you get these big kind of worlds and stuff. but it's not open world per se. And they said there's a lot of like things you could collect.
He also he said it's optional. So if you don't want,
you don't want to,
or you want to just stick with the story, you can do that. But you'll find other weapons and things like that, obviously, just for side mission.
And on that end, Adam, they also said you could complete missions however you want, whatever order you want, which is really cool. And they said there may be some points in the game where it's like, oh, I may need to come back to this. I'm not strong enough yet.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I hate when games say that. It's like, oh, do it. Well, we know that's not right, because once, let's say you want to go, I don't know, to the far west or whatever and fight someone, it's gonna kick your ass because you skipped all this other shit. You didn't get
exactly.
Weapons, you haven't leveled up, whatever. And even though I don't think they showed any new leveling system, even in Doom and Doom Eternal,
there's a leveling system in this.
All right, there you go. As you progress, you do get better weapons, better shields. You get better things. So it's like, that's great that I can run to the end of the game and fight the boss, but for what? I'm gonna die and then have to trek back and get on my dragon and
yeah, no, for sure. They also said you could do like new combos with the weapons, and obviously, even though the game is set in like a more medieval type of setting, like all the guns are like they said they wanted to make them like torture fucking weapons and shit, So really,
chainsaw shield.
Yeah, so it's gonna be good. You could throw that shit like Captain America.
Well, you could parry. That's what I made the Doom Souls joke. I'm like, oh, you can parry.
Yeah,
great.
And obviously,
one button. That was a cool part with that. One button with the shield, it'll do all kinds of things depending on what it's doing. Like you said, parry or just attacking. It's just one button.
Yeah, basically what they told us is like, they wanted to make the controls more ergonomic. It's like, just make sure you could do everything. You don't have to do weird hand contortions. It's just the way your hand naturally holds a controller. Like the example, like these buttons on this side will be like your melee buttons. These will be your shooting buttons. You can even click on the L3, R3 for shit. Like they just want you to have everything accessible to you at all times, which is really good. Obviously, the soundtrack is motherfucking metal. Great stuff.
Unfortunately, the original composer is not involved, though.
Yeah, but it still sounds great.
It sounds so much like Meshuggah.
They had a falling out between them.
It kind of does sound like Meshuggah.
Every time I hear the heavy guitar and then like the 3-step beats and stuff, I'm like, man, I wish I was waiting for the dude to start screaming. I'm like, there is none of that.
I'm obviously, I'm stoked. I love the previous two games. They're my favorites. And it didn't take a long time. There seems to be 4 years between these games. So I'm like, keep them coming. Keep them coming.
Did he say, because the one thing I don't like in Eternal, it's the whole jumping and
they said this is all grounded this
so they
time.
took that out.
I don't know if they took it out, but combat is not going to focus on that. I don't mind. I didn't mind that in Eternal. I thought it added good variety to it, but I don't mind if they scale it back, but keep some of it. I like exploring shit. And if you're gonna be, I know you could use the shield to do stuff to unlock things and explore. So, but yeah, Adam. But they did say for like battles, they said no jumping around. It's just you're there. You're standing your ground.
It just felt like there was so many puzzles where you had to jump and then super dash to go through those little rings.
Yeah.
And then hook onto a wall. I'm like, this isn't necessary. I was like, let me just go shoot them.
See, I like that shit, so I didn't have a problem with it, But I don't know. They didn't really say this game's gonna have that. I'm not saying it isn't. They just didn't say that. They just kind of focus on the combat. It looks fucking great. Looks great. Rich, what'd you think of it, man?
Oh yeah, I thought the game was impressive. It by far it was the standout game for the entire presentation. Like I already mentioned to you, this is a game that I expect to get recognized for all types of awards by the end of the year because, like I said, good decision to make it single player. And again, their explanation of that is because now you can play with the mech and you have the dragon, and a lot of that stuff will extend the gameplay and make the experience totally different depending on what you're doing. What I'm curious about is what types of creatures and what size types of creatures you're going to have to go up against if you're using that mech in that. That's what I'm excited to see because we saw a glimpse of that. We didn't see all of it, but we saw some glimpses of some things. But overall, I thought it was great. And again, you mentioned the stand your ground. Basically, the Doomslayer is a tank.
Yeah, that's what they said.
That's exactly the same type of play style that they made Yasuke in the Assassin's Creed Shadows game that's coming out. This is one of the things I thought why I was looking forward to that game. But yeah, Doom looked awesome. And yeah, I also wrote a preview about this that's currently on thecoalition.com.
Yeah, go read that.
Definitely check it out if you're interested. But yeah, just to echo what Tony said, yeah, the game, it looks awesome. I have no doubt about that.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And Chris, obviously, you are obsessed with the previous 2 Doom games like I am. So what do you think of what you saw?
Oh, I thought it was fantastic. I was excited. You saw me in the give it to me. Yo, I was like, oh man. But I do like that play style because I like tanking more than like the acrobatics. Like I love Doom Eternal, but you are just like jumping around, like trying to dodge and grapple shit. Yeah, there was some fights I was like, man, this is too much shit. Like I'm fucking flying around
you
trying to
dodge. That's the one thing. Like he was right when there's so many times they lock you in. It's like, wait, they're coming from all angles, and
you can't stay still. You can't stay still in Doom Eternal.
Whereas like 2016, I felt that was more balanced. Like you strafe and stuff, but it felt like more grounded. So this I'm excited for. Like that is how I like to play. I love the idea of the shield. I love that he has melee weapons. I saw that flail. He like pulled it out. He did a glory kill. He had the mace. I'm like, this is awesome, fantastic. Then they said, oh, we'll get in a mech, and I was like, this is amazing. So I'm excited. The music sounds great. Everything I saw looked amazing. So I'm ready.
Yeah. Manny, I know you didn't play the other games. What do you think of this one?
I mean, it looked interesting. I'm not that interested in the Doom games, but I respect that they exist. I definitely think that they definitely, captured. The original one captured that that kinetic sort of fighting. The battling, and then they sort of expanded on it. So I feel like, it's like, what's the next eventual, evolution of this type of game? Like a larger open world. They almost did a open world type game in that last one, didn't they? Where the ship was his hub. They were really big environments.
It was big environments, but there was no. There was yes, you're right. You go back to your ship. That was a hub, that the ship that's just floating in space. But it was bigger environments, definitely bigger than the first game, but not open world per se. But yeah, no, it's gonna be good. And Adam, like you told us before the show, you're like, yo, man, I'm already sold. I don't need to see this shit.
That's why I was like, I'm checking out because I already knew it was coming. It's like it's like that with good movies and stuff. They're like, oh, you see this new trailer? No, I don't need to see the trailer. I already know. I want to be surprised. I want to be entertained. I hate when they spoil too much. And even this, everyone was sending me shit. Oh, you gotta see, look at this. Open your eyes. And I'm like, all right, I got this one bitch telling me, open your eyes. So I'm like, all right, fine.
I didn't send you.
You did. And then, sure enough, I regret doing it because then at the end, he's like, here's a long extended gameplay segment. I was like, stop. I don't want to see. I want that experience. Yeah, I just want to experience it. I'm sold on it from the first reveal. It looked cool. I like the shield and the chainsaw and all the melee. It's Doom. I like Doom. The first PC game I ever played was Doom.
Nice.
So
yes.
It's like it's. I'm just glad to see an IP from early on in my life still relevant today. And still doing what it does. It didn't completely transform. It's not in third person. And seeing his whole outfit. It's a first person craziness, and it's fun. It's a fun game to play. And if you have a Steam Deck, put it on your Steam Deck. It runs beautiful on there. I love it. I'm sure this one.
Verified. And I'm wondering if this game's going to be as well optimized as the last one. I'm pretty sure it will be.
The reason why, because they were asked before, how did you get it to work? It's because it's closed environments.
Yeah.
Remember, you go into an area, it's closed, and so then the whole room just loads up, and they don't have to worry about draw distance going. You're all locked in this area. So maybe it might be a little different because it is open world, and there might be a lot more depth. And if a big dragon pops up with one of our big mechs while there's a battle, I don't know, but they'll figure it out. They're smart people.
Yeah. Yo, Carlos, what do you think of Doom, man? There he is.
I haven't seen the trailer yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna love it. Yeah, It's just one of those games that you and Tony knows this. It's one of those games you don't even need to see. It's day one.
Yeah, that's it. You're right. Sold. Like I don't need to see nothing. You know. So that's gonna be hype. And the game drops on Manny's birthday, May 15th.
Birthday. The 26. Congrats.
Yeah.
Remember the last time that happened was Max Payne 3.
Yeah. Reggie.
I love that game too. I finished that multiple times.
He goes, the cherry on top. This is what Reggie says. The cherry on top is Doom had snow in New York for Adam. I don't know what he means by that. Oh man.
Well, if he's talking about like
the Division, yeah.
And
but Doom had snow. Beautiful. I don't know. Yeah.
But who knows? There might be. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a park because they said there's different environments.
Yeah, there's a forest and shit.
Let's say you go to the mountaintops. Think how cool that would be. You just see snow coming.
Oh hell
down,
yeah!
Just coming out of the ground, and you're trying to fight them and smashing them with the mace. You know, like a whack-a-mole. As they're coming out.
Yeah, man. Oh, they also said greater emphasis on melee. And you need to do melee to get more ammo. So you got to go in there and fuck them up. It's gonna be good. I can't wait. Cannot wait. This game and fucking Monster Hunter. Yeah, we're gonna be eating good this year, people. All right, so that's the Xbox Developer Showcase. I do want to say something because you know how it goes on Twitter. Fanboys talking shit. What I found particularly, and it was the PlayStation guys, obviously. Oh, you guys ain't got shit. These games ain't nothing. 3 of these games are coming to PlayStation. So you're talking shit about PlayStation games too, idiots. These guys are so dumb. They don't realize that. It's like, these aren't exclusives, guys. Doom Eternal, right? Doom Dark Ages, coming day and date. PlayStation, right? The fucking Obscurum game, I believe that's also coming to PlayStation. Ninja Gaiden will come to PlayStation. And that fucking South Midnight will eventually come to PlayStation. So why are you talking all this shit?
The other issue is people have short-term memories because they don't remember. Remember, there was a court case that Microsoft was involved.
I don't remember that. Oh,
you don't?
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Case and Activision, and Microsoft made this agreement so that way they can get this acquisition passed. That they were offering 10-year deals for their games to be on multiple. It wasn't just Call of Duty; it was for all. So when I hear people like, "I can't believe Halo's coming to Switch," I'm like, they signed a 10-year deal last year. We heard about this. They said it. They offered another similar deal to PlayStation. We know some deal was made. We don't know if it was a 10-year, but a deal was made. And some games, when I hear these certain games coming, people are like, I don't know what's happening. Well, you didn't pay attention before when they announced.
You should listen to Throwdown.
Because this is not last issue for surprise. Oh, we're desperate for money. No, this was the agreement so that way they can get the Activision deal closed. Like, look, we'll offer multi-year deals and we'll release these games on these platforms. Look, we're doing it. Well, they're living up to that agreement.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right, but people have bird memory, as Manny likes to say. Jay Shep, exactly. He goes, if you're a PlayStation guy, you should have been just as excited as Xbox dudes. Yeah, because you're going to be getting these games too, and some of these games look fucking fire. All those games are pro enhanced. Birdman GIF, let's go. I can't wait. Doom, excuse me? We have to wait a little bit for Ninja Gaiden, though. But, good things come to those who wait. All right, let's move on, man. Let's jump into some rumors. About the Nintendo Switch, which was the main topic last week. This is kind of combining things here. Apparently, a rumor suggests that there's going to be several Xbox games coming to the Switch. We kind of talked about this on the question show, but this has a fuller rundown of shit. And it's funny, these are called quote unquote Microsoft games. They're fucking, most of these are Bethesda games. Except for they're either Bethesda games or actual Microsoft games. So here's again, remember people, rumor. So Diablo 4, which is, already out on PlayStation and PC. Fallout 4, that could probably run on Switch too, you know?
And I could run on the Switch.
Yeah.
I feel like that's an old enough game.
Here's one that absolutely can run on Switch. Probably on the current Switch. The Halo Master Chief Collection. That's supposed to be coming. This one's interesting. Microsoft Simulator. I don't know about that one, bro. I don't know about that one. That shit could barely run on the S, you know? And then this one's interesting because there's another buggy mess. Starfield.
Like Pilot Wink.
Yeah, Starfield. Yeah, Pilot Wings. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, Starfield. Yeah, Diablo 4, Fallout 4, Halo, Master Chief Collection, Microsoft Flight Simulator, and Starfield are rumored to be coming. But like you said, Adam, the 10-year deal, right?
The 10-year deal, man. That's it. I wouldn't be surprised if all of the above, plus some, all show up.
I agree.
That's it. And like you said, most of them are Bethesda. Yeah, now they're owned by Microsoft, but that's part of the deal. It's like, well, we own all these studios. We need to start generating money from these old IPs. How do we do it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Nintendo got that beautiful Nintendo tax, right?
Yeah.
And people love paying that Nintendo tax.
This is true.
So here we go. We're gonna sprinkle all these old ass games on there with that Nintendo tax, and people are gonna eat it up like it's new.
You're 100% right.
Yeah, make that money.
Yeah. There's J-Ship says there's going to be more Microsoft games launching on Switch 2 than Nintendo first-party games. Imagine that. Go ahead, man.
J Chef is 100% on the money with that because I saw that rumor also. So remember that if once they announce the lineup of games, count how many of those are coming from Microsoft and how many of those are Nintendo. Remember that for later.
You got it on tape. Got it on tape.
Oh, wait, but you forgot the biggest rumor of all of them that I'm like, I'm
a Switch rumor?
Yeah, this Switch.
Yeah,
Call of Duty. That Call of Duty is going to be.
That was also part of the deal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's going to be, this better have some serious power, the Switch 2.
Remember, this thing's supposed to be as powerful as the PS4. There was Call of Duty on PS4. So there you go.
Yeah, but not this new one. This new one is what I'm saying. It's mainly because as time goes on, and we talked about this, or at least I've talked about it, the game has so many different modes. It's so massive. You see it with the file size. Yeah. There's a reason for all that. So to say, all right, this is going to fit on those little cartridges, which we know, right? They confirmed they're going to really have to compress, condense, or bump it to the cloud. Is it going to be one of those? Where it's like, oh, it works, but you're gonna have to go through the cloud system, and maybe that game requires Game Pass because you're running on, Azure and the X Cloud and all that. Well, I'm curious to see how they pull that off.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. So, but yeah, no. So again, that was part of the deal as well. Microsoft specifically said we want to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo Switch. They said that. Yeah, So there you go. All right, let's move on. Another story here. This one's interesting. EA says EA Sports FC 25 and Dragon Age the Veilguard underperformed as it lowers financial forecast. And their stocks already went down because of this too, by like 17%. And the majority of this was blamed on FC 25. The shit didn't do well, Adam. What's up?
What's up is they're just... What sells those games is people love the league or whatever that they're following. And if you follow, besides the Liga MX, which is the Mexican league, all the main leagues are there, and the Brazilian league is not there. But Premier Leagues and Bundesliga, all the stuff is there. It's great. But that's one part of it. Another big part, and the big money grab for them, is Ultimate Team, right? That's my favorite mode, Ultimate Team. But the thing is now is that they've tried to nickel and dime constantly. So here it is. You would have it's the best way to say it, like a battle pass system, but it's free. You just keep playing and then you unlock stuff, and usually you would get good rewards. Now you're getting a lot of loan cards or timed exclusive cards that expire and sort of not so much of a loan, but it's like, this is only good for a few weeks and stuff. And that's not the way it was before. And then you're getting these packs and you're getting a lot of untradables. Even if you spend real money, you're getting untradeable.
Damn.
What's that? That means that the cards that you get, let's say you get a lot of good player cards, but you don't want these cards. They're good players for some other league. You can't sell them so that way you can get better cards. They're untradeable. So then you're just sitting on them, and there's an SBC, which is Squad Builder, and there's challenges, and it's like, give us your older cards or your cards, and then you can get this one card. Anyway, the whole system is real cruddy this year, and it's all pointing you to spend a lot of money because the higher tier bundle packs or packs of cards that you get are with tradable cards. So then what do? You're like, oh, well, I don't want to get stuck with a bunch of untradeable cards, so spend $20, $30. Get the higher ones, but that's not a guarantee that you're going to get your cards. It's not like you can peek in it because there was a whole big lawsuit. Remember, some of the country, I think Belgium, pulled it because they said it's like gambling also. And then
that's right.
No. We can show people the cards. We can show no. They do it for one pack, a gold area, and it's a low end pack, and they show you some bullshit cards. No, people want to see for all the packs the chances of getting these. They don't do that. So anyway, it sucks. And then there's no growth on that. And yeah, they added a bunch of little things, little tweaks here and there, but it wasn't enough. And I still think that it hurts them with this name, even though hardcore fans know what it is. Every once in a while, I get people all the time saying, yo, when's that new FIFA come? What happened with FIFA? I'm like, it's FC. FC? What's FC? You know what I mean? Because they still don't know. And then they still think that because it's been forever, right? FIFA, all the games have been FIFA. They think that FIFA is like an NBA or NFL where they own all the rights to the league. So if they think FC, they're like, oh, they got generic teams then, right? No, the contract that Electronic Arts has is with the leagues to have the rights. It's just FIFA. You're just losing the World Cup. That's it. There you go. That's it. There's no World, but there is a tournament, and all the national teams are there. You could create your own World Cup. Name it their damn World Cup if you want. But that was the main reason why EA was like, why are we spending X amount of $1 million for this name when that's all it is at this point? But it's also proving that name it's worth a lot because
the FIFA name,
people are still not fully on board, and now FIFA is in talks apparently with 2K to put together their own. But the downfall with that is that then they would have to go out and get all those not exclusive, but all those contract deals with Premier League, Bundesliga, MLS, Serie A. You know what I mean? You have to make all these other deals. It costs money. That's a lot of money. Then they get the stats and do all that stuff. I mean, EA's been doing it for years. Their database is massive for all of the stuff they have because they've been doing it for every year, right? Releasing another game. So it's a deep well to jump into and say, yeah, we're gonna start doing it now. No, you got a key part with the name, but you have to have everything that follows with it. And if it's not all there, then people are not gonna follow it. But that's the only thing I can think of because it's still FIFA. It's still the same game. It's all there, but there's not much growth. And then, like I said, the Ultimate Team, and they always talk about it when they would, at least they used to. That was their big money winner, right? Making $100 million, $3-4 million. But it hasn't really changed, and now it's really focusing more on nickel and diming and forcing people to spend big money, and people are just getting frustrated. And then a lot of promises have just fallen to the wayside because they're like, oh, it's a card game. This and that. Yeah, well, and most card games, even the Magic Gathering and other ones that you play or Hearthstone, your cards will carry over as the season progresses in new versions of the game. You still have your cards. Maybe some cards you can't carry over. Majority of them you can. In Ultimate Team, you can't. Every year, it's wiped. So you could have Messi, Ronaldo, all these great cards, and as soon as next year comes along, they're all gone. You got to start from scratch. Eventually, that gets tiresome. People get bored of that. It's like I'm rebuilding the same damn team in another game. And they had years ago had promised, well, we're working on where you can maybe port over like 2 or 3 of your favorite cards. That way you're not completely starting from scratch, but then they scrapped that. They're like, no, because it's greed. Because they know it's like, well, you have Messi, we want you to work hard or give us all your damn money buying a bunch of packs to get a Messi in this game.
That's crazy.
So I'm not surprised, but then again, we'll see. I predict it'll jump up when the World Cup comes next year. Because then everybody will get, even though there is no World Cup.
I was about to say, you said they don't have the World Cup anymore.
You can still create it, but all the national teams are there. All the players are still there. You know what I mean? All that stuff. It's still there for you. And even if FIFA ties a deal with 2K to make a World Cup game, they have to work out all those licensing deals and names and stuff. We see the issue with Pro Evolution Soccer, which is now eFootball, which is Konami. Yeah. And if you go there, You'll have Premier League, maybe like 2 or 3 teams. You'll have one team like Barcelona has all the real names for La Liga, and all the other ones have fake names because they don't have the rights. Those are exclusive rights to the FC game for the Electronic Arts for EA. So it'll be that type of situation where, you will probably see a FIFA 2K World Cup 2026, and then you go in and you'll just see number 10, 12, 8, 9. And back in the day, like if you guys remember the old basketball games when Jordan didn't want to put his name in the game, so he was just number 23.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's what people will see. They'll see a lot of just numbers running around, and use your imagination, because they can't even use a likeness, because then they'll get sued for that. So it might sell because of the people that just jump on it because finally FIFA's back and then they boot it up like, what the hell is this shit?
But it says FIFA though.
Exactly, it says FIFA, but FC.
Yeah, what's up, Rich?
Oh, so I want to make 2 quick comments. First and foremost, we're going to address the elephant in the room.
Oh, you already know. I can't wait for that.
The real reason why EA is, they have some low numbers is because more than 50% of everybody on this Throwdown show did not pick up Dragon Ass Failguard. That's it. 1.5 million is what they, that's what the numbers were of how many players it got. It failed,
and that was half of what they wanted. They wanted 3 million. They only sold 1.5 because if you listen to Throwdown, you know why. The game's just a fucking woke mess. The combat is all janky. Graphics are all fucked up. Horrible dialogue. You've seen the clips. Like absolute garbage, which is a shame because Dragon Age was a fantastic franchise. And I believe the only reason it sold that much is because it hadn't been it hadn't been tainted for 10 years. It's been that long. Mm-hmm. It's not like Star Wars where it's been a gradual decline because every Star Wars project has been shit. Like apparently the new Star Wars show is actually apparently good, but nobody gives a fuck because you had all this shit before it. So Dragon Age at least had that, like, oh, the last game was good. Let's go check this out. And there's a lot of people that love Dragon Age, but only the diehards stood out for this game. And obviously there was all the controversy, developers talking shit because of course they are talking shit to the fans. It's just a mess. So not surprised by this stuff.
And the biggest elephant in the room, and people should have known it wasn't going to be the same as soon as they didn't see any of those familiar names that made those previous titles.
Yep, they're all gone.
I feel like a lot of people don't pay attention to the, everybody's all on, rooting for the team. And then they notice, oh, hey, my team is sucking. Oh, why is that? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because half your team decided to leave. And you just replaced everybody with a bunch of fill-ins.
Yeah.
The same thing with
the unfortunate thing about this situation is that they put so much behind a bunch of people who are untested.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, basically.
It is literally a game that is only Dragon Age in name.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. It's the same FIFA situation. They figured the name can carry it. They were like, everybody's going to buy it for the name. Come on now. There are super fans out there. Yeah, the super fans, then they would know and do their research and know who's making their game.
Yeah. But but in all fairness, all joking aside, the main driver of the big loss by EA was FC because that was a big selling game.
They franchise. They always keep bumping the numbers of the expectations. That's the other issue. I mean, it still made more money than any of the other games probably this year compared to just Call of Duty. I mean, those two are always up on top, but they just keep setting that bar so high and keep trying to figure out ways to just gouge people. And I think this is a breaking point, and hopefully things will change going forward. But who knows? Maybe this is it for these Ultimate Team type games. Remember, they started the trend. We have an Ultimate Team in everything now. We saw it in the My Faction and WWE games just trying to do it. We have it in the NBA, we have Mutt, we have it in Madden. Each game, it feels like they all have their own type of microtransaction card-based game, and it's all because of Ultimate Team. But maybe we hit the bubble. Maybe this is it. Our generation clearly they're growing out of it. It's been around for like 10 years already. People are like, you know what? I'm done playing this card game. I'm moving on. And if that's the case, down to earth this game comes when it comes to the sales and the pricing and the expectations, because that's the mode. That's the mode that was making all their money. It wasn't just all the play multiplayer online and fighting other people while they play reggaeton. No. In fact, they turned that off, thankful. That was one of the cool features. You don't have to hear people cursing you out in Portuguese and shit like I was hearing. That's done. They're all muted. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, and again, their stocks dropped because of this. So EA is not looking too good, you know.
It's not that they're just betting too big. If you have a whole new team that's handling this Dragon Age thing, maybe you shouldn't have put so much backing behind it. With an untested team, a young team who classically made one of these games in the past, drop the budget just ever so slightly so you're not killing yourself on there. Same thing with the other one. It's like, why did you know? And then again, they should have adjusted their projections long ago. As soon as these foreign elements started coming in, you know.
Yeah. All right.
We don't get another burnout.
Burst another burnout. You know. Yeah.
They know it. I mean, come on.
Let me. I have a question.
Why
you want a
is it-
burnout?
Yeah.
You want a burnout made by this team?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I'll pass.
rainbow cars all over the place. You know.
Oh no! Whoa, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I mean, that in the UFC game, what happened to that? They released one last year. I guess they're not doing well. I don't know.
Yeah, those don't sell that well. What's up, Rich?
So, one quick comment I do want to make. We will definitely be following this story with EA. There are 2 games I know for sure that are going to be dropping this year. One of them is Split Fiction, that Haze Light game that they showed at the Game Awards. All the previews I've seen for that game have been overwhelmingly positive. So I will be very curious to see how that does. And of course, the next Battlefield, which is being made by Vince Zampella, who is the same guy that worked on Titanfall. So if that game is a disaster at launch, then I think EA is in trouble.
It's already a disaster. You just said it. Titanfall.
What?
Make another Titan. It's not going to have mechs, so it's going to bomb. It's just going to be like another Call of Duty knockoff. Titanfall with the mechs is what people wanted. That made it stand out. That was awesome. Jumping on top and pulling the pilot out and shooting him in the... Come on now, bring that. If you told me they were adding that in this game, I'd give it some credit. But right now, no. I'm sorry. It's always going to be second runner-up to Call of Duty then.
Okay. Okay, so anything else you guys want to say about EA?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Fix your face. Fix your face.
Fix your face. Okay, so I don't have this in the show notes, but I do kind of want to bring it up because just to at least mention it, even I don't think any of us have. Actually, I mean, Rich, you could tell me otherwise if somebody on the coalition has played it, but the review embargo lifted for previews of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Another game that we expect will not do so well, which also has an inexperienced team. Manny, I didn't know about this. Apparently, a lot of the team that made that game, this is their first game ever. Assassin's Creed, Ubisoft's biggest franchise, and they're getting the D team.
Yeah, it was a team from another one of their studios who wasn't classically in charge of the Assassin's Creed franchise. So why do you think that these things might be happening? I don't know.
I'm sure there were like fresh ideas. We can't think of anything good. We might be able to do it. All right, do it. I don't know. You know,
but I think the biggest thing is that, like, you know, again, like what I said with EA, they're betting too big on an untested team. It's like, okay, maybe that these guys were like, you know, in the backdrops, you know, making doing assets or something like that. They never really had any sort of, you know, full experience doing these sorts of games. You know, the best, you know, keep it to the main guys, and then throw a side quest, game at those guys. If you really want to get more Assassin's Creeds out there, right?
Yeah.
which is sort of what they did, right?
Yeah. So, Rich, is there any coverage on the coalition for this game?
So yeah, I do have a comment to make about this. Now, those previews that happen, I mean, that I think that they happened sometime over the last couple of weeks. No, we were not involved in any of those previews. We will be involved in the reviews. I can honestly say that because I know for a fact that we will be reviewing the game. But one thing I do want to say about the previews is that again, they had a lot of coverage that dropped today when they dropped the story trailer as well. A lot of things I have seen have been a lot of positive.
Yeah,
there's
I've
been
noticed
some
that too.
critiques. You know, and of course, there's been some critiques as well. So it's not all positive, but the thing is that a lot of people kept saying they were more surprised at what this game is than what they actually thought it was initially. So I am curious to see how this game does. Obviously, it will not be for everybody. We already know that, but I'm to see all of the people because there are a lot of people that I didn't even know were Assassin's Creed fans that were previewing this game, and I'm like, I had never heard this person play Assassin's Creed before, but they've been reaching out to all types of content creators, big and small, to get their thoughts on this so that they can be talking about this game. And there's a ton of gameplay videos out there. So clearly they are pushing this game because they want people to talk about it. So we'll see. But no, the Coalition definitely will be doing a deep dive discussion. Myself and Gary will be talking about this game extensively. So stay tuned for that at sometime in March.
Yeah,
the game we got to wait until
Hopefully,
March.
in March over on the Coalition, I'll be talking about the Division 2 and its new trip to Brooklyn because that's still scheduled or still internally set for March.
That's funny.
Oh yeah.
So, Rich, I'm guessing the good, the bad, and the buggy part 2.
Absolutely. And I will say this. If you've listened to when Gary and I had that discussion about Cyberpunk, again, the audio quality wasn't good because I didn't have a good microphone at that particular time. That was a damn good discussion. So if you listen to that discussion, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're in for a treat with this other one because we're not going to hold back. We will talk about the entire history of this game, all the stuff that's been happening up to, and then of course the reception, all that stuff. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, we'll have to talk because I may want to join you on that. To be honest,
Okay.
I played all the Assassin's Creed games, so I may want to join that. Rich, you're just throwing it out there.
Okay. That sounds good to me.
But yeah, no, you're right. Reception generally has been positive, and full disclosure, we also did a preview of it over at Tom's Guide. I actually edited the whole thing, and our writer Ryan Epps, shout out to him. He liked the game, what he played so far. This is what he said in his preview. He really likes how the two characters have different play styles. Like the girl, she's a ninja, obviously. He says. Because he admitted he's not that good at stealth, so when he tried to just go all guns blazing or all kunai blazing, got kicked. His ass got kicked because the girl can't take that much damage, so you got to be really stealthy. And then conversely, with Yasuke, he's a fucking tank. He could just take it all. So different play styles. He acknowledged the controversy, but he said he didn't care about that. He just enjoyed the game. And in all fairness, he also liked Outlaw, so make of that what you will. But yeah, so not everyone's gonna hate this, but like I said, I'm a big fan of Assassin's Creed. Been playing it since the first one, and I declined reviewing this. I'm like, no, this isn't like all the shit that's going on with this game behind the scenes and stuff. I don't think this is the right direction for this game. So I will not be the ones cheering it on. I'm not going to detract. I mean, I'll talk my shit, obviously, but but then again, I'm not one of those guys that goes on Twitter, all this shit. If I got to say something to say, I got my podcast here. I don't need to go on Twitter and throw in with that muck.
Same like you. I love the Assassin's Creed game. I love Black Flag. That's still my favorite. I'm glad they're redoing it or making another one.
And to be fair, I really like Mirage. Mirage was a good game.
Yeah, Mirage, very good game. That was fun. I just restarted playing Syndicate on Steam Deck
Syndicate,
today.
fantastic.
That was
game.
Fun. But man, this one is like over. I'm not into it at all. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's just I don't like what they're doing. I don't like all the stuff that was going on behind the scenes. I know to some people they don't care about that, but to me, if a developer just flat out tells me, no, this game is not made for you, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna play it. Like, don't tell customers that shit. You know, don't tell. Don't like it. Don't buy it. Okay,
but
I
as
won't.
we've seen, it's still a small market that even pays attention to those comments. You know, because no one cares. I think
people listen. Look at Battlefield 5. They said that bullshit too.
Well, it was bad though. So they couldn't even live it up. If it was good, people would have just ate it up. Like,
well, you notice no one ever says don't like it, don't buy it when the product is good. They never say that. It's only for bad products that they say shit like that. You know. But regardless, go play the game yourself, make up your own mind. Yeah, there it is. All right, so moving on, we still got a couple. Again, this was a kind of stacked week. Aside from the Xbox thing, more microtons, as Torrance used to call them. But this one's pretty significant. We were talking about people who left their studios. Ted Price, bruh, leaves Insomniac after almost 30 years. That's a big one, you know? Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on that, Manny?
Well, I mean, according to this, he's retiring, right?
Retiring, yep. He's done, yeah.
Or as we like to call the nice way of leaving a studio without getting fired.
Shit.
And or your position has been eliminated and stuff like that. I mean, Shuhei Yoshida also said that he retired, big giant quotes from PlayStation. So my guess is, he wants something new. Maybe he doesn't want I haven't fully read the article yet, but maybe he wants something a little bit smaller than a big old, AAA game studio. Maybe he yearns for something a little bit smaller. Who knows? Yeah, he didn't say about what he's doing next. He just says he's retiring. Here's what I found interesting. They're not getting one guy to replace him. They're getting three. Like, that tells you that guy must have covered a lot of things, Go ahead.
I might agree with Manny, but I don't agree that he would have been fired just because Insomniac was doing really good.
No, not saying fired. Not saying fired. Just in general, it just seems like the waves of the way certain things going on behind the scenes at PlayStation may not be a situation that a lot of these older.
Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah,
a lot of these older developers or older people in charge are kind of digging. Why did Shuhei Yoshida leave? I mean, retirement is just such a superfluous term, right? Okay, yeah, he's older now, but even after he had left, like even as he said it, he's like, oh yeah, I'm not really leaving the game industry. So it's like, okay, so what are you doing? Maybe it sounds like something is going on behind the scenes that they're not digging, and they're not going to just say I quit. They're just like, you know what, I'm just going to retire and just throw my hands up and walk this way.
Yeah, I don't know. For Ted Price, for me, it feels different than Shuhei Yoshida because Shuhei was just a guy that worked with Sony for a long time, and he was doing
it wasn't just a guy.
Compared to Ted Price, Ted Price founded the company. He founded Insomniac. He was the CEO.
But guys like Shuhei Yoshida gave Ted Price the ability to do the things that they would do. It's his insight that allowed that got Insomniac into the position that they are. Same thing with Crash Bandicoot, with those guys. So he's just not just a guy.
Nah, for me, Ted Price played a bigger role for Insomniac than what Gibbs on, because he was the creative guy. He was the founder, the CEO. He was creative. He did everything for that company. He built it from the ground up, and obviously they got picked up by Sony later on and had the support there, and then they became the Marvel factory that seems like it's becoming.
I mean, and you feel like
that might be a reason why Ted Price left, right?
That's why I said I agree with Manny in the beginning. Like, I feel like
maybe he doesn't want to be just the Marvel factory. Maybe he wants to make new games because, like, if you look at what Insomniac has done as of late, what are they making? They're making adaptations of popular characters like Spider-Man and Wolverine, and sequels to
Spider-Man
and sequels to the
Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But yeah, no, it is again because he was the face of Insomniac for a long time, And just a quick little story for you guys, which I've told on this show before, right? My very first big gaming event was actually EA, right? And I got to go check out Fuse. Remember that game? And the guy who personally ran me through the game was Ted Price. He was showing me all the mechanics. It was cool. It was really cool. He was a really nice guy. We ran into him at E3 a couple of times. Remember the last time we ran into him, man, it was like in a parking lot, but it was like quick, like, hey, Ted, how you doing? He always seemed like a really cool dude. I kind of consider him the opposite of Neil Druckmann. That guy, very humble dude, was never full of himself. So yeah, he'll be missed. And I'm curious to see if these new guys can even it's just crazy. 3 dudes to fill this guy's shoes, man. It shows you how important he was,
Two guys to handle PlayStation right now.
Yeah, that's also true. That's also true. That's how it is, man. But yeah, shout out to Ted Price. Thank you for all the games, man.
He's not that old too. That's why the whole retirement thing is like.
Yeah, but Carlos, he probably has the money. He's loaded.
That's why I don't think that he's retiring.
Yeah, he's retiring from Insomniac.
I think he's retiring from Insomniac. But if anything, maybe he could just say, "Okay, I'm done with games," or he could be a situation where he's just waiting for the smoke to settle, and then maybe he's going to do a little small studio.
Yeah,
kind of go back to the roots of what Insomniac was.
That's true. All right, moving on here. Speaking of, I'm believing Warner Brothers Games chief guy is also leaving the company, but we're not gonna miss this guy, I don't think.
Let me just
go ahead,
for
Ben.
For those of you who are out there like, oh, Warner Brothers made some good games. Let me add that this guy took the seat when off the backs of all the things that were already in motion. So Shadow of Mordor came in to 2015. He got that position around that time, which meant that Arkham City was already in motion.
Yeah.
A bunch of other titles that a lot of those Lego titles were already in motion. So this means that every single decision that this guy made, all the bad decisions that have been going on at Warner Brothers Games as of late, these are okayed by this guy.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. Because he's already, if you look at to the line again, games back then maybe 3 years to make. A big game like Arkham and maybe Mordor might have taken 4. So, Arkham came early the next year in February. So, all those games. So he's living off of all the good graces of before, and then once his regime really took effect, what kind of games do you get?
Well, then was that fucking Batman, the one where Batman wasn't in it, Gotham Knights, that bullshit, Suicide Squad,
Shadow of War.
Yeah, that one.
Him.
Yeah, that this guy
the
did.
Game was laden with microtransactions.
The only game that was a bona fide success, I don't even think I'm exaggerating, is Hogwarts Legacy. That's like the main thing that this dude has to claim, and that's off the back of an existing IP that's popular. Yes. So yeah, no one's gonna miss this dude. But it kind of leaves you wondering what the hell is going to happen with WB Games. They're not in a good spot after we've been talking. They lost hundreds of millions of dollars last year.
No, they again, a situation where they made a huge bet on these things.
Everybody's doing, Manny. There's something you and I talk about too. It's like everybody does this shit. Big bets on big stuff. What happens if that shit doesn't pay off, bro? You got to have a sturdy base there.
those two games, killed the Justice League and that other
Killed the
Gotham
studio.
Knight game,
Fuck.
those,
You know?
those two games should have been a lot smaller than what they were, to at least justify the budget a little bit. You know?
Yeah. No, you're 100% right.
And every single one of them did it, and they all crashed and burned. Why was that? Because maybe you should, maybe you know, I get it. You know, there's the you know, they really want to grab that thing, right? They want to grab that service, and you know, essentially have their, you know, essentially put themselves on, you know, on video, what I call video game welfare. People just keep paying, you know.
It's crazy, man. All right, any thoughts on this dude leaving?
I have no love for this guy.
Nope.
I wish they would just get somebody in the seat that knows something. You know, this guy's just another bureaucrat that got moved up from another section of Warner Brothers. Somebody who has absolutely no history in gaming. You know, just a figurehead. So what are they going to do? They're going to replace him with another garbage figurehead.
Yep.
Somebody who failed up.
I mean, that's most of these guys. Let's just be honest. All right, man. Moving on here. So this one's kind of interesting. Sega is launching its own version of like Ubisoft Connect, basically. It's like looks like it's another launchers and account that's gonna kind of bring all these games together.
I was thinking Sega Channel.
That's what I thought too, but you're not streaming off this. So I'll read this because I thought that was my first thought, but it's not that. Sega has launched its own account system akin to the Nintendo account or Ubisoft Connect that will quote unquote maximize its online services and offer various benefits, kicking off with the free costume for Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. The aptly named Sega Account was revealed on its new website and is described as an quote online profile that gives you access to a host of benefits when playing Sega and Atlas titles and using their online services. By creating a Sega account, you'll receive the latest news about Sega and Atlas games, events, and promotions. Additionally, your Sega account grants you access to exclusive bonuses and the ability to link accounts to various gaming platforms, end quote. Yeah, that sounds like Ubisoft Connect to me. So that's annoying. You have to go another login now.
Another login. But is it free? Is it still free? Or
yeah, it's an account. You know that you don't have to pay for it. Yeah, there's no subscription, nothing like that.
It's for tracking, man. That's all it is.
I mean,
more tracking.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, and I'm still trying to piece this together, but maybe there is no connection there. I'm trying to connect this to Sega discontinuing all those games. Remember that, Adam? So I don't. Maybe there is no connection, but I couldn't help but just kind of think about that. You know.
That's a good question. Who knows? Maybe not. Maybe they were refocusing. Maybe they were old games. I don't know.
Yeah, but they're gonna bring them back. They're not gonna keep Sonic off people's hands.
Oh no, Sonic's for life.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's another launcher you have to log into or something, or another account. Fucking bullshit, bro. Okay, so this one's kind of interesting, and I wanted to bring this up because, again, Manny's phrase of the night is bird memory. Your other one is toe dip tonight is bird memory. Because people are going crazy about the possibility that GTA 6 will cost $100. And I'm like, hold on, bro. I know we talked about this. So I looked at the archives.
Yes, we did.
On October 2nd, 2023, we talked about a report that said GTA 6 may cost $100. Now, an analyst is talking about it, but the twist here is very interesting. And again, this is not official, so we don't know. But apparently, a video game analyst has claimed that there is, check this out, that there is hope in the industry that GTA 6 could cost $100 so that other companies could raise their prices. So that
hope.
Yeah. So, but it makes sense, doesn't it? Other companies hope the game sells for $100. So they can be like, oh, fuck, GTA 6 did it. We're going to do it. Just like when PlayStation started charging $70, other companies are like, yo, $70, let's fucking go. So that's what this guy's saying. It sounds fucked up, but I understand that mentality. But we'll see what happens. But I will say this though: if any game could get away with it, it would be GTA 6. Motherfuckers will spend $100 on that fucking game. Absolutely will.
It depends.
Even the base game, they'll pay $100 for that shit.
I don't know, man. I think a new generation through this whole time is just hooked on the online version. If the online version is still free and separate, then I see them people just jumping in just to focus on that.
Yeah, but what if they want to play the new online, the GTA 6 online?
Is that going to be free? That's the thing. I don't know. Is that separate?
Well, you buy the game, and then you got to... But think about it like with GTA 5, correct me if I'm wrong here, you need to buy that game to have the online, don't you?
No. Separate, no.
Wait,
GTA when? Online is separate.
It's since this current gen version.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
And that's free to play because they make all their money through shark cards and microtransactions and all that jazz. So, and a lot of people from all these years, they're not replaying the same old campaign missions. They are doing all the online stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
And all that stuff. So,
I guess that took what, like 7 years to do that?
It did, yeah.
No, I know. But that's what I'm saying. And this is what, 7, 8 years of people just growing up playing that mode.
Yeah.
So then when this comes out, it's like, oh yeah, there's a story. Damn, $100. But we've been playing the free online. Oh, you got your online? All right, we'll just jump in there. Jump in.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing.
I'm assuming. By the way, just real quick, Carlos. I'm assuming because remember it took 7 years to do this. I'm assuming when this game drops with online, you'll have to pay. You'll have to buy. It's going to be one package. It's not going to be separate. I guarantee you, they're going to do that. They want that money. Go ahead, bro.
Rockstar has the industry in a chokehold right now, and they're not going to skip the opportunity to charge for their service when they're going to make money on both sides, from the service and from the microtransactions. I think eventually, maybe after a year, 10 years, I don't know, however long, they'll make it free like they did with GTA 5. But they're not going to miss the opportunity. And Tony, we did talk about this exact same topic. We did mention that if there was going to be a game that's going to do it, it's going to be a GTA 6. And like you mentioned, everyone is waiting on bated breath to see how much they're going to charge, because
that's too
this
much.
Is going to be the
We've been talking about this, man. We've been talking about this.
We just said it was like 70 just was a few years ago. To jump to 100, that's a big jump.
But again, but this is GTA 6, bro.
Don't matter. Because just like all games, we see prices drop. I don't know. No. It's not like if it was on Nintendo, because then it was like, shit, that's 100 for life. They're never going to change.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be 100, to be honest. But 80, I would not be
again, all I'm saying is, and obviously this all is, Chris, you go next. This is all theoretical, but if any game could get away with it, it would be GTA 6. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I think you're right. They're not. This time they won't disconnect from the jump, the online from the game, because they want to push the sales, right? And like Adam said, there's a lot of people that want that online component, so they'll pay in even if they don't play the campaign and they skip right to online. You still have to pay the fee, right? Very very few IPs or studios can get away with this. Rockstar can get away with it. I think Nintendo would try it. Honestly, I would bet that they would be the next one to be like, oh yeah, you want this next Mario, next Zelda is $100.
Come on, yep.
No, Pokemon, yeah, exactly. Like they could, because the Nintendo stands would definitely fucking drop $100 on whatever.
Oh yeah, fucking Mario Kart and Smash Brothers and shit.
Yeah. There's guys who can't get. There's plenty that can't, but Rockstar can. They can. So I think that's highly likely, and we already discussed it. I agree with that. I was like, yeah, they'll definitely do that. And you know what? If I think they could get away with it, but if the rest of the industry goes, oh, that's a new price point now, $100. It's like, wait, hold on a second.
Yeah,
you ain't
that
Rockstar.
might be steep.
You ain't got that kind of offering, so I think you're smoking crack rock. They're not. So
absolutely, I agree with that. And I want to make it clear. Because people, obviously, this is the internet. They love to misconstrue things. None of us on this podcast are saying this will happen. We're saying if any game could get away with it, it would be this one. But we're not saying it is going to happen because I know motherfuckers will come in here. You guys said it's going to happen. No, we
here's the other
didn't.
thing, though. But here's the other thing. It's not just the game at 100. We're talking if this rumor's true, this is the base game.
The base.
They're always going to have multiple tiers. That's the new standard for years, right? You have the base 60, 70, and then deluxe and premium ultra edition. So then what's the highest? What, $200 for what
people
would
already
be
paying
like
crazy prices for collector's editions. So
that's what I'm
I can
saying.
believe it. Yeah.
If you're starting at 100, you're already raising that needle for all the other ones.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
And
but again, this is GTA 6. This is the game. Remember, GTA 5 was the highest selling piece of entertainment in history. Not video games, entertainment for everything. This is its own institution, you know?
Yeah.
Why do you think Rockstar doesn't show up to Summer Game Fest? Now, why do you think they don't show up to show? Like, they don't need to. They know they're going to make that money, you know?
And Adam, I bet they keep statistics on the shark cards and everything. GTA Online really isn't free, right? So a lot of people,
they make that money
whatever reason. Yes, and think about it. Like one shark card is like what, $90 or $100, and people drop money on it. So to just get into the game, and there's be plenty of people like $100 and I just get in the campaign. Okay, people will rationalize this price, even though we were like looking at it like that's crazy, but they can do it.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see about this. Again, this is just this guy's prediction. But I do predict that if this were to happen, other game developers will be salivating. But I also agree that they're not going to be able to get away with it. They're like, it's going to be tough for you guys to do that shit. The only other game I can see this working with is Call of Duty. That's about it. That's about it.
Can you imagine if EA came out and said, "Oh, Mass Effect 4, $100"?
Yeah, no.
You can keep that game.
You don't keep that shit. I'll give you $100. Keep it away from me.
Right. So if they want to go with the whole rumors, and then remember that other internal leak of like the story and how some of the things are being changed and toned down. It's the classic. So let's say the reviews come out and it's been confirmed that is the case. That 100, that's going to drop real quick because people are not going to jump on. They're like, yeah, this is great. We had this love with Grand Theft Auto, but this is not that same Grand Theft Auto. Just like we talked about all the other games and the people that worked on them and how they're all gone, Rocksteady, all of them. Same thing is happening here. Those people are gone.
Yeah, so, and I've discussed my worry about that, especially if they're like, oh, we're not going to punch down. You know what that means. And this is game development. I know, we've had a big cultural shift, but this game's been in development forever. So all that bullshit that was happening in the culture years ago may be in effect for this game. So we'll see what happens with this. I am not loyal to Grand Theft Auto. If this brings the bullshit that I don't like, then I'm not buying it. Fuck that. It's
also remember, like I said earlier in this show. Pay attention to the names that you don't see. There's 2 specific names that are missing from this title.
Yeah. Listen, ever since Dan Houser left, I was like, okay, we'll see about that. And by the way, quick aside, but kind of going back to what we're talking about. When Ninja Gaiden Manny, my first thought was like, how good is this going to be without Itagaki? Like Ninja Gaiden 3 didn't have Itagaki, and
Well, that's why they're going to a place like Platinum Games.
Yeah. So but the point is, yes, please look at who is making these games. Don't just look at the name of the title, be like, oh, that's it. I remember this shit. Oh, what about the people who made it? This is why I always tell motherfuckers, we need a Dreamcast too. Those same people aren't at Sega anymore, bro.
Treat the games like you do your movies. People look at directors, they know John Carpenter, they know all those names. Same deal.
Just you're right.
See who.
Like, oh, who's this Daniel Craig guy? I'm not watching these Bond movies.
Who is this? Robert Rodriguez didn't do this Until Dawn? What then? Maybe I shouldn't be watching this shit.
All right, man. And the last story, this is not a game story, but it's still adjacent to it, obviously, you know? And I'm going to read this from Silicon Era. Sony has announced that it will cease production of all models of its Blu-ray disc media, recordable mini disc, recordable MD data, and mini DD cassettes in February 2025. The company added that there will be no new successors to the physical record media. Sony did not specify a detailed reason for the cessation, but it is not the first company to stop its production of Blu-ray discs. When Panasonic made the cut earlier in February 2023, it noted a difficulty in maintaining continuous profit as streaming videos via the internet had become the more popular option. However, as Sony is also the company behind the PlayStation family of consoles, there will be questions raised about the future of physical video game releases on the platform series, since it has utilized Blu-ray discs since the PS3 era. The original PS5 release in November 2020 had two versions with and without a disc drive, but when Sony released the PS5 Pro in November, it only prepared a disc-less version of the console, and people who wanted this had to buy it separately. There will be no more new Blu-ray disc media produced and released by Sony after 2025. Crazy, because Sony invented Blu-rays, you know?
Well, no new Blu-ray content, but yet and all, Sony is the publisher of the Disney content. They have the rights to put out Disney stuff on Blu-ray. So what are they doing?
Are they gonna not do that anymore?
No, they only just got this. Like Disney just said that they're not going to be doing any more Blu-rays through their studio for their films. They were handing over the license over to Sony, who produces the disc. So what is this situation now? What is it like? Is Sony going to just be farming it out to another manufacturer? In other words, they're closing down their own Blu-ray, manufacturing plants, and they're just going to do it through another company.
Yeah, and one thing this article didn't mention, this is right now for Japan. We don't know if Sony's still going to be doing this in like other places in the world, you know? So that's, but that's a good point. It's like, is Sony going to just farm this out to other people?
Yeah, maybe it's their manufacturing plants in Japan. Maybe that's a situation there. Even though most things are manufactured, most Blu-rays and stuff are manufactured in China.
Yeah, but obviously the reason I would go ahead.
I'm just curious, and people here and in the chats, like, did you guys ever really adopt Blu-rays like you did DVDs?
Yeah,
you did?
Yeah, I moved on. Yeah, I even like made an effort to I didn't do it all the way, but I did make an effort to at least my favorite movies get the Blu-ray version, and even the UHD version, the 4K version. So I do that. I've done that. And with my anime collection, it's funny, Adam, you were asking me if I was collecting shit. For a while last year, I was collecting a bunch of shit. It was basically just upgrading a lot of my anime DVDs to Blu-ray. So I still do that, you know? But with games, I haven't really bought physical games since 2014. For two reasons. One, you know, game journalist, I don't need to buy games, but even before that I stopped because I'm like, if I have to install the entire game, why the hell am I buying this fucking disc? This is why with Switch I don't have any Switch digital games. They're all physical because that cartridge actually means something, you know. But yeah, anyway, the reason I wanted to bring this story up is obviously a lot of people gamers are very scared that they're not going to get physical games. What I think is going to happen, we discussed this before, I think physical games will become like vinyl eventually. They're not going to go away, but it's going to be for kind of niche reasons, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So I think they're not going to go away, but it won't be mainstream, you know?
Third
limited run games, shit like that. Yeah,
like limited run games and strictly limited games and stuff like that. I mean, granted, you know, the only unfortunate part of, well, at least with limited run games, is all of their games are all slow.
Yeah,
they never come in day and date, which is annoying. So
yeah. So you have to just get it digitally until it comes physically, you know. But that's the way the industry's rolling, you know?
Yeah, everything's changed. We've lived through so much, man. Think about that. Yeah. From just cassettes, you know, turntable, record, VHS, DVD, Blu-rays. Things come, go now. They used to dominate Best Buy, right? Rows and rows of movies and stuff. Now I think it's like one
Shout
section.
out to Laserdisc.
right?
Yo,
Laser
remember
disc.
Remember in Men in Black, you're like, oh, this is the Beatles' White Album. It's on this thing. Like that, like, no, it went digital, bro. That was in the future, you know?
Yeah.
No, you're right. It's like, yeah, we went through all that. Yeah, Betamax and VHS and DVDs, Blu-rays, 4K now. It's crazy, man.
We're seeing it. I mean, you guys, I don't know how many of you guys still have cable, but you know, now
the cable's gone. I've cut that fucking cord, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. Well, DVR, when now it's a feature to record. That's awesome.
I don't pay for cable. No, I don't. I pay for internet, bro.
Your internet bill is still through a cable company, so you're still.
I'm not paying for cable, dude. I used to pay for cable. I used to have that. I used to have the triple thing: the phone, the cable, and the internet. Now it's just internet.
You don't need the phone.
You're still paying a cable company for your service.
Yeah. But I'm not paying for cable. I'm not. No, it's not.
He doesn't have cable channels. No, it's not the same because then he can't. He can't log into.
I can't just watch any cable channels, Manny. I don't have cable. You know.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're still paying them. Like, you didn't fully cut the cord.
Yes, I did. I don't have fucking cable. What are you talking about? Anyway, we're going in circles. I'm not paying for fucking cable. Stop with the bullshit. Anyway, no, I'm not. I'm paying for internet. I'm not paying for cable.
We're all paying cable bills.
No, we're not.
You're paying a cable
Manny,
company.
You come here. Where's my cable box? Where's my cable box? I can't have the cable guy come over here and hook it up and give me the ill channels. Remember that shit? Yeah. Anyway, this conversation's stupid. This conversation's stupid now. Anyway, yes, physical is going away, but we're not going away. It's going to be just rarer, you know.
The thing about it, and this is the thing about nobody even gets these days, is that the 4K media that you see on your streaming service is not even fully 4K.
Oh, it's not.
No, it's not.
The only way that you're going to get true 4K is through
on the Blu-ray.
And this is why I like buying my favorite movies on 4K. When you see that shit, bro, it is way different than streaming.
But sometimes it looks so fake. I have some movies.
Turn off that motion flow, bro.
I watched. What's it? I think it was the second, Lord of the Rings. It was not the second one. It was the one where the elf dude is fighting and he does the fight and he slides down the fallen.
Oh, the third one. The third one. Yeah.
The third one. That whole shit looks so fake.
It's the second and the third one.
That is true.
It looked too good. It was too. I was like, I can't. You ruined it for me.
Yeah, turn off motion flow.
Yeah, turn off motion flow, and then also, you are talking about a 20-year-old movie or 20 or more year old movie now, so effects quality aren't going to be the same.
And to be fair, there's a lot of old movies look way fucking better than this trash we get now. Look at Shang-Chi. Yeah. You know.
Well, I mean, the thing in general.
Jurassic Park, man, he still looks a lot better than some of these new movies.
It's also from the fact because they used multiple techniques, and also they weren't CGing the whole fucking movie.
Yeah, they actually filmed an actual real location, so they had to make sure the lighting was correct. They didn't have all those fucking color grading nonsense everywhere. Like, it was all natural, you know?
They did color grading.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like hardcore, you know? Yeah, you're right. Like, and Manny, the other aspects like camera angles are not like natural; they're just like crazy. Like a normal human couldn't actually film that shit, you know. There's a lot of reasons, but these effects are really bad now too. Let's just be honest, you know. Jeff says, "I know." He goes, "I know what Adam means. I can watch old kung fu in HD. It looks odd. Give me the WPIX quality. Let's go. Let's go."
That's it. I just can't. Yeah, I'll just watch my older ones. Some of the movies I tried, they just if it's like Rocky and stuff, okay, because it's not so bad. But things that had a lot of special effects, Matrix and stuff, it ruins it. I can't.
Yeah, Jeff, I know, and he put me onto this one. Watch Predator in 4K. It'll change your life. You see all that dirty shit, you know, because there's no CG in that. It's just, gritty shit, you know?
A couple of VFX.
That's it.
In there, but
I love the promo.
I miss that shit, man. Go ahead, Carlos.
It's distracting, like a lot of that CG stuff. And like Tony mentioned, the camera angles, like those, it just swivels around everywhere, like it's crazy. But enough about Men of Steel.
Video game camera angles.
Yeah, but so there you go. Interesting shit, man.
I mean, I'd like to see a little bit more, get a little bit more nuance as to what things are closing or what things. Because again, why would Sony be closing down the Blu-ray productions when they only just got the rights to start putting out all the Disney films on physical media?
Yeah, I can't answer that. No one's really talking about that.
Nobody's talking about.
And they own Funimation and Crunchyroll and all that stuff. So
yeah, they own Funimation and Crunchyroll and a bunch of all those other things. So yeah, I suspect that it just means that they don't have Blu-ray. They are closing down their specific Blu-ray plants, and they're probably doing it through something else.
Yeah, Chris, you gonna say something?
Oh no, I mean, I agree with the vinyl comment you made earlier. I think not just games, but movies too, and shows or TV shows are going to be this like niche, expensive collector's item. I'm trying to buy shows and stuff, so I have them. I mean, you tweeted about Airwolf earlier. I'm going to buy that shit because I want to watch it, and I can't watch it anywhere. Anytime the streaming services decide they don't want to carry a show, or they don't want to bother finding the license, it's disappeared, right? It's gone. I can't watch it.
The contract gets lost. The contract runs out.
I mean, come on.
Why I became a digi hoarder. This is why, because of this reason.
Yeah, I'm buying stuff on Blu-ray. I'm buying anime and because I just want to watch it. I don't want to be beholden to anyone. Anytime Netflix decides we're dropping this show and this service dropping that show and whatever, it's like it's gone. It's just disappeared forever. So even if Sony drops out, I'm sure there's other people who will press Blu-rays and stuff and the media because the studios still need it.
One thing and one thing they specifically say there will not be a successor to Blu-ray. Sony specifically mentioned
this is it.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're not.
No 8K movies coming.
Yeah, no, they said there is no successor.
No, there is 8K, but there is a.
They mean they're not going to make another storage media, disc-based storage media. But there could be from another company could come out with some kind of new storage media, new type, non-magnetic and maybe beyond SSD. I don't know what that would be if there's some kind of development in material science or whatever. But Sony's done. They're done with this. They're just like, we're tapping out, just all digital.
Yeah, pretty much.
All day.
All day, yeah. And remember last year they killed off recordable Blu-rays. They killed those off last year. But now it's just they're done. Which not surprising.
What's crazy? This is really it's gonna be real quick, and it's a little tangent. But this past weekend I'm pretty sure a lot of you can relate. A huge bunch of stacks of CDs. They're random stuff. They're burnt CDs. They're DVDs. They're everything in the sun.
They're all in the closet.
Yeah, they're all in the closet. Just haven't touched them in over a decade. And I pulled them out and started putting them one by one. And it's the freaking time warp that it takes me. And it's like, damn, this is a CD mix from freaking 2003.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, Sheila still broke up with you. She was like, I don't care
that fucking
how
bitch.
many TLC songs you put on this shit. We're not getting back together.
This one had no scrubs.
I want to read this last line because I went over to Tom's Hardware. Shout out to Tom's Hardware. See if they had any more insight. Not really, but this last part is interesting. Sony's ending production of Blu-ray discs marks the end of an era. This will likely make it harder for movie collectors to have their curated media libraries and have the tactile feeling of selecting their favorite movies from a stack of hundreds. But this move to streaming libraries where there is no ownership and the movies and shows you watch could simply disappear without warning reminds us how fleeting life can be. Damn, my man got deep in the end,
Yeah.
That's
why me and Adam go to the way of the
exactly. That's it. That's why we do what we do.
There are places that still, that again, what are considered boutique, releases like Vinegar Syndrome and, Criterion. And there's quite a bit of a Scream Factory and Shout Factory.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's what's going to happen with physical media.
Premium for those,
it's going to be premium now. Yeah.
Well, no, those aren't actually premium. Most of those
Criterion is.
Criterion
Maybe
is. That
Shout
costs a
is.
lot of money.
Criterion
No,
is.
Criterion is is considered the higher end
Yeah.
of those things, but Vinegar Syndrome and like I said, Shout Factory, they don't charge overly charge for any of their Blu-ray releases. They're pretty
Right,
much
and
the
they
older Blu-ray
and they may
releases.
not, but
But
as that shrinks, there's
Yeah.
less ability to press Blu-rays. Sony gets out of that, right? And only you have these 4 or 5 companies actually creating collections for people and pressing disc and stuff,
It's gonna
right? They
cost
can
more.
charge whatever they want because
Yeah.
they're where else are you gonna go, right? You can't go to Target anymore and just get
Exactly.
just a
Supply and
the
demand.
bargain
Supply
bin
and
version.
demand. Yep.
And buy and
that's a
demand,
jump
and-
up,
the only one that actually still sells Blu-rays is actually Walmart. They're the last.
Mm.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, you're right. Because Best Buy.
They
Yeah,
got
Best
out.
Buy-
Tar- Target
Best
stopped,
Buy,
I believe. Yeah.
They replaced
Best
it with
Buy has
toys
stopped.
at Best Buy, which throws me off.
Yeah.
They sell
Best
toys.
Buy Best Buy still sells Blu-rays, but no Blu-ray, no actual Blu-ray players, but actually no Blu-rays. What was it? Also, Target has a smaller section.
Okay.
They still sell
Near the
physical
TV
media, but they don't-
area, yeah, they have.
Yeah, and the TV, but that's all it really needs to be. If you just put out the recent stuff that's what people sort of care about, and then anime always seems to be rolling no matter what. So
Yeah. Barry Burns says, but how many movies coming out in the next 5 years are going to be worth owning? I'll go with 5. Probably less than that, to be honest.
I would say 5 to 2 because I did just buy Nosferatu.
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 Yeah, like the last one I
Extended
bought.
edition.
Yeah, the last one I bought was Dune 2. The last movie before that was Dune.
I have Dune, Oppenheimer, and those ones that you really want to
Yeah.
look into.
Something in the way.
Yeah, just buy movies from
Man,
Nolan
I love
and yeah, just buy movies from Nolan and why am I forgetting Homeboy's name? Denis. I'm just gonna call him Denis.
Denis, no, the trifecta.
Villeneuve.
Denis, Nolan, and Robert Eggers. Those are the 3 superstar directors nowadays.
Is that the Nosferatu guy?
Yep,
No. And the Northman too, right?
and the Northman.
Yeah,
It's an interesting movie.
yeah. All right, man. Let's start wrapping it up here. 'Cause my stupid headset's telling me low battery. God damn it, shut up. I'm trying to do a show here.
No battery.
Thank you for talking. I was like, yo, maybe the shit cut off already, All right. Do we have anything to plug around here?
Got some future stuff coming. Got something future. I'll make the announcement now because I got some stuff I got to keep building up, but it's confirmed it's happening. Got a new show that's going to be popping up over at the Coalition and on YouTube, and Talking Reacher. Be covering season 3 of Reacher. So some people are going to be part of this. It's going to be fun. I'm going to invite some other people, and I love that show. If you have not watched it, watch it. If you have watched it and you know about it, then go over to the Coalition, subscribe.
Yeah.
Because it's going to start for February 23rd. February 23rd. They're dropping 3 episodes. Their first episode. I hate when they do this shit, but they're doing it. 3 episodes. So it's going to be a long one. We're going to cover all 3. But yeah, Reacher. Fantastic show. If you like
who else is on the show?
Can't say it. Can't say it right now.
Oh,
Got some
NDA.
people yeah, it's an NBA. I got one person already confirmed. Some other people were like, all right, let me see. Let me look at the schedule. So,
That's probably a no.
But who knows? Maybe it could be a no. But I do got somebody that I know.
But enough about Richard Bailey Jr.
Oh man. Obviously Rich will tell us everything that happened with the Coalition on Sunday. We're gonna try to do that now. But I'll still plug something for the Coalition too. The Invincible podcast will be returning, people. I will be your gracious host. Along with Carlos and Dana and Rich and Chris and whoever else wants to join. So it'll be good times. I wonder if we could get the homie Danny on that shit too. Or maybe the Brooklyn Bear too. I haven't seen my man's in a while.
Where's that dude been hiding?
Yeah, he doesn't really post. He's probably on Blue Sky now, to be honest. But I saw him pop up on Twitter the other day. He's doing all right. But yeah, I was like, I got to get on a podcast with him. You know, my unofficial cousin. You know, it depends on the day. Sometimes he's my cousin. Sometimes he's my illegitimate son. You know, it changes. Anyway, man, we are done here. So make sure you follow Throwdown on Twitch and Twitter. Follow us on YouTube. Join the Discord and check us out on your favorite podcast app. Links to everything down below. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you next time. And yeah, me and Kari have a four covers.
Yo, man, you should have said that when I said plug something,
You
motherfucker.
see, look at that.
You skipped over me. Yeah, see you next time. Me and Kari got a couple of covers coming from Ninja Turtles. 4 different covers for all different turtles coming down in October. So it's gonna be a while, but I'll let you know when the full thing comes out.
Cool. Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
Peace out.
Adam Vale.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
And Richard Bailey Jr.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
All right, guys, you already know. We'll be back on Sunday. Later.